go and hope that it's in the right place. Okay. So stand by, Lynne. It'll be live. Just smile. Just stand there and smile.
Okay.
Okay, and we are live. And this does not, well, there it is. Does it have me? Okay, stand by. Let me get into Zoom. Hi, everybody. Okay, there we go. So I am hidden. We're just setting up, everybody. How's that? Oh, can you see me? Okay. Can you see my head pretty much? Okay, so hi, everybody. It's 3 p.m. and it's time for dinner with Nanny Bubby. And Lynne Hoge is here, Renda Hoge, who is our winner of the summer barbecue tournament from last week. And we are going to be cooking her pineapple salsa. I'm so excited, but I need to be able to find all of you on Facebook as you join us. I know everybody's very excited. So let me find you here on Facebook because I have to do camera here and I have to do questions here. So hold on just a minute. There we are. Okay. All right. There we go. And Ellen Hughes is here. Ellen Setloff, Roseanne Heidemann is here. And several people have started to find us. So Lynne, I'm just going to back this up slightly so I can get my head in. They can see more of the countertop. And I think that works. Yvette Bucher is here. Do you know some of these people whose names that I'm?
I do, yes.
And I can see that your husband is watching because it says you're watching. So
that's right. He's watching on my phone.
So Lynne, I'm so happy to welcome you. And I just want to say to everybody who joined the summer barbecue tournament last week and others that are joining this week is that when I talked about this tournament with Roseanne and with Teresa Anderson, I told them that there was a concern for me because a lot of people who win these things with me and I say, oh, you get to win and come on the page with me and cook a recipe, that you get very nervous, you get very camera shy. And that happened to you, didn't it?
Yes, it did. I have never done anything live. I've never done Zoom. I've never been live. I've never spoken to a bunch of people. So yes, I was a little bit nervous. Yes.
And, you know, when I bring this up because there's going to be another winner this coming week. And I know that there were 2 winners in previous weeks who I said, okay, they were cocktail recipe winners. And there was some other contest. And I said, oh my gosh, you get to come on live with me. And they were like, no, I'm going to be out of town that day. No, I can get a facial at that time. I'm not going to be able to make it. And so, you know, what I wanted to say to everybody is that I've got your back. And, you know, it is no different than talking to me one-on-one. And we're all in this together and things can go wrong. When I was live on TV, literally a light fell out of the ceiling and like came this far from my head and fell down right next to me. And I jumped 5 feet off my seat. But, you know, we were live on TV and you have to go on. And so there's nothing so bad that could happen while you and I or anybody else who wins next week's live or this week's live will, you know, that could happen that we won't be able to get through. And so even if we get disconnected, I remember we got disconnected twice with the churro man. If you remember, I don't know if you watched that episode, but he lost his connection twice and he had to log back into Zoom. And somehow we made that. So, you know, that's just kind of show business, right? If that's how you look at it, the show must go on. So we're here today. And in the middle of this summer barbecue tournament, Lynne, you became a grandmother.
I am, yes.
Yes, and you were just telling me a story. I hate to have you repeat it. I wish that I had stopped you and said, wait, don't tell me. Wait and tell me live on the air. But nonetheless, you have a story to tell about your grandson.
Yes, so this is our first grandson. And oh gosh, my husband and I are just absolutely elated. Today is our wedding anniversary, so that makes it even better. But he was born a little bit premature, so we have not gotten to physically see him yet, but He's amazing. He's beautiful. We receive pictures and updates every day, and the updates are amazing. And hopefully within the next week or so, he will be able to come home, and this grandma will be able to hold him and hug him and kiss him.
Oh,
so we're very excited for all
and
that.
so hopefully you'll take pictures and post them in Gather so we can all see.
Oh, yes, I would love to do that. Thank you.
And I know your son is 25 or 28, did you say? Is he 20?
Actually, I made a mistake. He will be 25. He's 24. He'll be 25 in July. So.
And is he your only child, or do you have someone else?
He is, yes, he is our only child.
So this is just wonderful. This is just great that that you have this grandson, and how wonderful it is. And Frank says hello, by the way.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah, Frank last week, you this week. This is getting to be a lot of fun. So tell us about this amazing pineapple salsa.
Okay, so this pineapple salsa actually was, I had went to a little gathering, and a friend of mine had made this. So this really isn't my original recipe. There's been a few things that I've changed, but I thought, what better idea than to make this, I try to stay very healthy eating, to make this as a summer salsa. It's very simple, it's a very healthy, so the very first time I made this recipe was when I posted it on this Gather page. So
let's get cooking. Show us how
we get cooking. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a paring knife because I think that what I would like to do is actually, sometimes when you let a man in the kitchen, he loves to have that might be. Yep. Uh-oh. Okay, well, I'll just have to find it later. Okay, so the reason that I feel like I needed a little tiny paring knife is because you are cutting a whole pineapple, and you're going to show us how to do it.
Yes, I am. Okay, so
I bought chunks of pineapple at Trader Joe's because cutting a pineapple for me is very difficult. So for any of you, hey Heather, for any of you who can tell Lynne and I your technique for cutting a pineapple, just type it in the chat right now.
Because I will say, this is not a beautiful cutting experience. I'm not very familiar with the best way to cut this pineapple. I just used the pineapple basically because I wanted to use it as a bowl, but you can certainly use fresh pineapple. It also talked about how you could use canned pineapple. I don't know that I would use canned pineapple, but either which way, I think.
So what you're doing is you're hollowing out these pineapples and then chopping the meat so that you can use these as
Correct.
A bowl with the
yes,
in it, which I think would be really, really great.
Correct. Now, I found in my drawer, which I did not have when I did this the last time, it's like a Pampered Chef. I think it's actually a spreading spatula, but it has a little bit of a blade in it. So I thought, I'm going to try this to get it out easier, because the last time I tried to use a spoon and it was a little bit of a mess.
So let me ask you this: what size chunks are you recommending? Because I'm cutting mine up right now. What size chunks?
You could use either. You could use small or you could use large. Now, in the recipe that I made, I kept mine a little bit larger, but I know that you had talked about you were going to make cucumber and cucumber bowls.
Yeah.
So you may want to do it smaller, just because the smaller the chunk, I think it would fit better in there. So I'm just going to hollow out. I hollowed that one out, and I'm going to do this one
here. Teresa has joined us.
I kind of feel like this. I'm glad I found this little spatula thing, because this is definitely working for me a little bit better than the way I tried to do it before.
Okay, this is good. So I assume that if maybe I don't have as much pineapple as I should, that I can actually just buy some more chunks and just add to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what do you think about using the pineapple juice as part of the dressing, like with the lime juice? What do you think?
I don't know. That sounds actually pretty good. I had not thought about that.
Yeah.
And I know that from these, what I did when I made this the last time was I had left the pineapple shells on my counter for a while to kind of dry out.
Right.
And I covered them and I refrigerated them to use as the bowls for the next day, but they still had quite a bit of juice in them. So sure, you could take that juice and.
Right. Well, and I think that that's an important thing to note. If you like the idea of what Lynne does, is she uses her fresh pineapple and she uses the shells as the bowls for the salsa, and then she leaves them out on the countertop after she's hollowed them out and cut them up. And then that way they dry up a little bit. And then before going to bed, you just put them in the refrigerator.
Correct. Okay.
Did you cover them in the refrigerator?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you cover them in the refrigerator?
Yes, I did. I covered them with saran wrap, which is it's a little hard. It doesn't stay on there very well.
Right.
But I did cover it. So I got, for the most part.
But you know what I wonder? Can I just add this, Lynne? I wonder if you didn't cover them when it went in the refrigerator, then they'd even dry out even further while in the refrigerator. Because you know,
I guess
if you don't, yeah, they would. If you don't cover things in the refrigerator, they do get dried out, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so maybe just putting it on a cookie sheet so that if the juices, drip down, but if you left it uncovered, even in the refrigerator, that would add to maybe the drying out.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So now I've chopped my pineapple into a little bit bigger chunks. And
so
I'm gonna.
Says my shells didn't come out too good. I think the pineapple was too small. That could be. And Roseanne says I cut off the top and bottom, then trim the skin by cutting down the sides, following the curve of the fruit to remove, to remove the skin and the eyes. Then I cut lengthwise in half and half again. That makes it easy to cut out the hard core. Those are all tips and tricks.
That's a great tip.
Yeah. How to cut the pineapple. So I am, actually there's more in here than you would think, right? Because I'm chopping.
There it is.
And how are you doing? Oh, you've got a lot in yours already.
Yeah, I've got my pineapple. I believe this pineapple is probably smaller than the one that I had bought the last time. I could probably hollow out a few more pieces, but I don't want to break it up too much.
It looks rather big on camera. So what did you think when you won, Lynne? You were not live. I don't think you were live.
No, I was, and I was shocked.
You won just about everything there is to win, right? You won.
And the ironic part, the ironic part about me is I win nothing. Nothing. Oh. I honestly, I never win. The last thing I won was when my son was in preschool and they were doing a drawing for hamsters. Well, of course I won the hamster.
Oh my God, right? Just like for some reason your kid is always the one that wins the goldfish at the fair, right?
Correct. Yes.
God, don't let me have a goldfish. That's so funny. Well, you won the tomato slicer. You won the cheese contest. And then you won the make the summer salad with Nanny Bubby. So that's absolutely great. Patty,
I'm very excited. And I love my tomato slice, by the way. I use it often.
It's the greatest, isn't it? So Patty Neely is here. So hey, Patty, thank you for joining us. Lynne was our big winner last week in the gather group for her the summer barbecue tournament. And on Friday, right after Channel 8, because this week is Channel 8 show, right after the show, which I'm making the beet salad. I'm just going to pour a little bit of juice in there, just a little bit. After I make the beet salad, which I made for all of you already, but I'm taking it to the wider audience. We are going to, after the show, we are going to pull the lucky winner of this week's recipe. So that'll be great. Okay. So I've chopped all my pineapple, which took me as long as it took you to do a whole fresh pineapple. So, all right, what's our next step?
The next step is probably, you could do the peppers or the onion. I'm going to start with my peppers.
Okay.
I clean them as you've taught me. So now I just have to chop them.
So we did our food grade hydrogen peroxide. We sprayed the outside of them. And now, yes. Do you remember how I taught you to cut it? So,
I do not.
So watching the ribs on the side, I just want to move this over so that everybody can see. We're just going to cut down and down and down in between where you can see the indentation of the ribs. And then we take this and just throw it right into the compost basket. And Jennifer Tuttle is here, and Lana Robeson Fabian is here. We welcome them. So did you see how easy that was? And you have absolutely no waste when you do that. Isn't that fantastic? How do you cut a pepper when you cut it? What do you do? Do you find frustration in your cutting of it?
Actually, I don't. I cut the top and the bottom, and then I hollow it out. And then I'll just slice, just down accordingly to however. So these I'll probably slice a little bit bigger. And I, just slice out the little, I think your way is definitely much easier. And then I just, in this.
Throw out at the same time. So Lynne, how did you find Nanny Bubby?
Well, I found Nanny Bubby on Channel 8. Actually, it was the weekend of New Year's. I'm not sure if it was New Year's Day or whatever, but then we were all quarantined in the house because I normally never watch TV. And I just had happened to turn on Channel 8 and you were on there. And the recipe that you made, which was the chicken cacciatore.
Oh, yeah.
I said to my husband, I've got to make this recipe. And for he and I, we are so busy in our life. And every day we're like, well, what do you want to eat for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to eat for dinner? It's a whole back and forth thing. So when I found this simple recipe that you made, which by the way was absolutely delicious, I was like, I love this. I love that I could watch somebody cook. I could learn from them. And I've learned so much. When I was a little girl, Julia Childs was my idol.
Oh. Amazing, right?
Yeah, so ever since then, I love all the tips. I love all the recipes.
Well, let me tell you how that chicken cacciatore recipe came about. It's the funniest thing. I, previous to that, would do what anybody making chicken cacciatore would do, which is, buy a whole chicken, bring it home, brown it in the fryer, put together your peppers, your onions, your this, your that, your this, your that, and then let it, cook down and cook the chicken fully. Well, what happened is I had made a date such a gentleman, she said. Who did she say that to? Don't worry. I'm not posting because I'm giving everyone a chance. That's what Frank said. We miss you, Frank. Go post. Okay, so I had made a date to go see Roseanne. I hadn't seen Roseanne in like 20 or 25 years, I think. And she had been so gracious when I was on Channel 8. And I just wanted to go see her and catch up. And I had been seeing the posting of her art online. And I was so inspired by her art. And I further learned, if you ever look at her page, or many of you do, that she had only started painting a few years ago. And if she has had this talent all of her life and just started using it, I just was blown away at the beauty of her paintings. Well, needless to say, so there's the whole thing just going all together right in the garbage. So what happened is I really expected to stay 30 minutes and then I needed to run to the grocery, and I was planning on making the chicken cacciatore. Well, I ended up staying an hour and a half. And I literally got my car in a panic because I knew that my husband was, I think, at a fundraiser for one of his clients, because he handles, political clients. And I thought, oh my God, when he gets home, he's always so hungry. I've got to get to that grocery. I went right into the grocery store. And while I was driving there, I thought to myself, oh my God, if I literally buy an already cooked chicken at Whole Foods, and if I just put it in with the whole tomatoes, you know, the crushed tomatoes, with the pepper and the onion and whatever else is in that recipe, I can't remember now, and just put it in the pot and cover it, he is never going to know the difference. And so I did that as a result of like hanging out with Roseanne for way too long. And can I tell you, it doesn't even make sense to do it any other way anymore. It's like that recipe was such a winner. And I was shocked. So, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And that is how that mother was invented.
It is wonderful. I love that recipe. I've made it several times for friends. They brag about it. It's so easy and it's so good.
And it's so good. It is so good. It is so good. So let's see, anybody else? Nope, nobody else. I think I said hello to Jennifer Tuttle, who is here. Okay, so have you already put your green pepper in?
I have. I've done my green pepper and my red pepper.
Just like we talked about that, I think with Frank.
Yes, with Frank.
Yeah, lemon or lime juice will cook like a salmon. You can make a salmon tartare with the lemon and lime juice on it, and that will cook it. Shrimp, anything else? I can't remember exactly what we were referring to when we were talking to Frank, but I do find that I can eat onions in salsa, and I'm sure it's because of the lime juice. So, okay. So you're going to do half the onion. Did you already do it?
Yeah, so I just cut the onion in half.
Okay.
And then again, I don't know that my way is the right way, but what I do is I take a little slit off the top of it, and to take the skin off. So that I'm able to.
I do that too.
Chop it easier.
Roseanne said she loves being a part of my chicken cacciatore story. I'm sure she knows that story, but maybe not. Okay. All right. So now, which way did you go in half? The widthwise or lengthwise?
Lengthwise.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right. And then we'll take the skin off.
And I just take the skin off. And then I cut it in the middle. So almost like a third, if you will.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you guys can put this over. I guess I can get rid of this. And then I just chop, accordingly. So again, I'm going to make mine a little bit bigger. So we'll kind of cut lengthwise a little bit bigger, thicker slices, if you will.
Okay, I just want to answer Teresa. Yes, the chicken cacciatore recipe is on the website because on nannybubby.com, because I did that recipe on Channel 8, and all the recipes I've done on Channel 8 are on the website. So it's under main dishes, Teresa. It's so easy and so good. Do you guys have a Whole Foods up yonder in Reno? When we were growing up in Las Vegas, Reno was the largest city in Nevada up until 1968. And when Las Vegas passed Reno, and we found out about it in our social studies class in 1968, everybody was celebrating the census that came out that Las Vegas had passed Reno in population. It was a big deal in all of the schools. And I think we were still in junior high at the time. And I'm wondering, Teresa, if you remember all of that. And, and then we really surpassed, and, Reno was just kind of like a little cowboy town for a very long time as Vegas grew and grew and grew and got more and more and more cosmopolitan. But I understand Reno right now is actually the fastest growing city in all of Nevada, that Reno is booming right now. So, okay. All right. Into the bowl with the onion. Did you already beat me on that too?
No, I did not actually.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was listening to the history.
The history, yeah. Did you know that Reno was the largest city in Nevada all those years?
I did not know. My husband is a native of Las Vegas, so he
really?
probably.
What high school did he go to?
Western.
Western. So I wonder if he remembers. He may not remember, because if you've only been married 31 years and I've been married 41 years, chances are he was just in kindergarten when all that happened.
I will have to ask him.
Okay. Yep. And Teresa says Reno has a Whole Foods, so yay for that. Okay. So I know that, hey, Susan Mendorf, nice to have you here. So here's what I want to tell you, and Yvette Rooker is here, which I think I've already said. So I know we're putting in crushed cumin in just a few minutes, but what I'm going to do is talk to everybody once again about my technique for putting herbs in, or not herbs, but spices into a mortar and pestle. So this is, can you see this? I think you can. If I go like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up. And the key is that what will happen is you're going to start smelling the cumin, and there will be a little bit of steam coming off the top. There'll just be a little bit of smoke. And the minute that happens, you want to take it off the fire and you want to put it right into, I believe this is the mortar. I believe this is the mortar and this is the pestle. Am I correct on that? And Susan says it's nice to be here. Thank you so much. We're having a great discussion. Lynne was our winner during our first week of the summer barbecue tournament. Oh, I did something wrong here. There we go. And she got the ability to be able, what she wanted is the ability to be able to cook with me live on Wednesday. So every Friday we pick the winner. So if you haven't already posted your summer barbecue salads, go ahead and post them. We're going to pick the winner. You've got until 12 noon on Friday to post your recipes, and at about 3:30 after Channel 8, we will announce the winner, and then the following Wednesday you have the opportunity to cook with me. If you're like Lynne and you've got a little camera shy and maybe didn't want to do it, I'll do my best to make you feel comfortable. But if you don't feel comfortable, then I will just cook your recipe and you can type in the chat if you'd like. But we are having a blast in Gather, are we not, everybody? Everybody who's right here right now from Gather and listening to me say this, you should type in the chat right now how much fun you're having, because it is great. So this is the thing. I am beginning to smell this. We don't want to burn it. We're just going to slide it around. Go and just give it a minute. Yeah, I'm starting to smell it. I don't want it to burn, but I just really want to make sure that it gets toasted. And in the toasting, so it's starting to change color, and it may not, whoop, am I seeing a little bit of smoke come off? Yep, I am. Okay, I'm turning it off. I'll give it a few minutes just to feel the heat from the pan. And oh, there we go. Now I can just really smell it coming in. So we're going to take this, whoop, and pour that right into the mortar and pestle. I'm going to take this, if you can see it here, and I'm just going to grind it. Now the fact is that grinding this when it's hot actually gives you a much better grind. Oh, you should smell that. It is just amazing. So here we go, grinding it up. And this is the last of my cumin seed. I have used so much cumin and coriander because of the Yotam Ottolenghi recipes that I've been cooking my way through, as you know. But there it is, all fresh and ground. So let me just show you that. Go. And I did get this mortar, and there it is. It's just powder. You can see it. See that? And so now we will measure out what we're putting into the dressing. So is that what we're doing next? Is the dressing?
We have the cilantro or the parsley. Did you want to put that in at the end? Or did you want to put, when I made my recipe the last time, I did add it to the pineapple, but we can also add it at the very end.
Well, I think we can do both. So let's put it this way, because it says to let this marinate for overnight, right, for 24 hours, which is great. Right. We're going to put in, I think, some parsley now, but then tomorrow, after I put it into the cucumber cups, I will take some more and just sprinkle it over the top.
As a garnish.
Okay. So Lynne and I were talking about the fact that I am one of those people who cannot tolerate cilantro. So, you know, there's this thing, it's a DNA thing that where when you taste cilantro, it tastes like dish soap. And I am one of those people. So I never put cilantro in anything. I have no idea what the rest of my family is like. I know my mother can eat bushels of cilantro. I mean, she loves it. And she has tried to get me to eat it for years. And finally, when I found out it was a DNA thing and that I wasn't crazy, she finally leaves me alone about it. But I've learned to replace cilantro with parsley. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to cut this right off the stem. This is just some parsley that I had that I've already sort of sliced through and gotten off. And about how much parsley? And I'm using the Italian parsley.
I believe, it's just 1/4 cup.
Okay.
Or however much you would like. I just follow the recipe, so I do about 1/4 cup.
There we go. Okay. So as you all know, tomorrow is my husband's 71st birthday.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Yes, and so I have been cooking all day today. In fact, what was so funny is Lynne and I had to do a Zoom touch base at about 11 today. And when she came, I was like so busy chopping and doing. And I said, oh my God, you must think I never get out of the kitchen, but I'm cooking for my husband's birthday. And I literally will spend about 12 to 14 hours for 2 straight days in the kitchen because I get everything prepped so that when my guests or my family or anybody is here, everything is just within hand's reach and it's just about putting it together. Like I will put the pasta pot on the stove tonight with a little bit of olive oil in it and some salt, and I will cover it. And tomorrow, all I have to do is turn it on. I won't have to pull it out. I won't have to add salt. I won't have to do anything. And I do that because a lot of times, and I don't know if the rest of you are like this, but I get a little bit nervous when everybody's here and suddenly everybody's saying, where's the corkscrew? Where's the this? Where's the that? And I'm busy trying to get things on the table. And so I find that the more I have done ahead, the better I am. And in fact, I kind of analyzed it and thought to myself, I feel like on the days before I actually have a party that I'm my own sous chef. Like, I wish I could hire, like, is there somebody out there who's just a sous chef that's for hire, you know? I would definitely hire them. Okay, so here we go. We've got the parsley, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle that in. I'm gonna put the rest of this parsley, because it's nicely cut up, and I'm just gonna put it in one of these little cups, which means I'm gonna have to get another one for our experiment that we're gonna do. But I'm just gonna put it in here and cover it up and put it back in the refrigerator. And then tomorrow when I need it to garnish the cucumber cups, it will be ready to just pull and go. Okay, so the parsley's all in. Now what's next?
Okay, so now we can start. So basically we have all of our ingredients for the salsa. Now we could start with the dressing, which would include the olive oil, the honey, the cumin, and the salt.
Okay, now question. Do we need to toss this up or we'll do that when we get the dressing in it?
I did it when I put the dressing in.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna move this so everybody can see us make the dressing. And I've got 2 limes here. And take the spoon out. We're just gonna squeeze the lime. Roseanne said, Ina Garden has a wonderful Make It Ahead book. I'm like you on that. Yeah, I like to get as much done ahead as I possibly can. Oh, these limes are not full of juice. So I may have to grab a 3rd or 4th lime. These are not too full. So yeah, I'm not getting much out of my limes. Are you getting a lot out of yours?
No, I didn't. They seemed hard. They really didn't have a lot of juice.
Judy Wood says, you and I look great, which is sweet. Thank you, Judy.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, so Susan Mendorf says that her sister says it tastes like soap and she can't get enough of it. Isn't that so funny? And that's just like my mother. My mother cannot get enough of it. She's like, oh, can I have more cilantro, please? At the restaurant. I'm like, they're like, well, there's cilantro right there. So, oh, it's just not enough for me. So it's really funny, isn't it? How people respond differently to, and it's a DNA thing from what I understand. So, okay, I'm getting more juice out of the lemons. Now let's see if this one. Okay, there we go. Okay. So about how many tablespoons do you feel you got of lime juice? And do I need to maybe get another lime?
I would say, because I did squeeze mine beforehand, just because I have this manual squeezer. I'd say maybe 2.
Okay, all right, I'm not too far behind. Okay.
But I will say, I felt like when I made this recipe the first time, I was a little concerned that maybe it wasn't enough juice, but because it sits for 24 hours, the pineapple did provide enough juice.
That's probably true. And also I've got a little extra pineapple juice should I need it, right?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take my hands and I'm just going to wipe them clean for just a minute because I just want to look back and make sure that I did not miss anybody's comments. Yeah, and Teresa says she can't get past the smell of cilantro. And Susan Mendorf said it's nice to be here, so I'm caught up. I think I got everybody. And Megan will be back tomorrow. So tomorrow, let me just promo what we're doing tomorrow. So at 3 o'clock, so my family is walking through the door tomorrow at 4 o'clock. They're probably going to be here a little bit early because the grandkids have dentist appointments. And so when they're done, they're just coming over. And I needed to get the appetizers done, right before everybody walks through the door. So I decided that tomorrow at 3 o'clock, what I was going to do is finish up the appetizers, and that 2 appetizers that I'm going to make are the cucumber cups with the salsa and a little bit of guacamole at the bottom, which I love that idea of doing that.
Oh, I do
and
too.
Also Roseanne's posting of the rosemary stems with the marinated fontina cheese and the grapes. And so I said, Roseanne, will you come on with me on Thursday and literally walk me live through getting the appetizers ready? So before 3 o'clock tomorrow, I have to be 100% done with absolutely everything. All the flowers have to be back on the table. All the, salmon has to be seasoned and just ready to pop in the oven. Everything has to be done. And then we're going to make those appetizers, and then I'm leaving. I'm leaving right away so I can finish getting ready. It actually kind of is a lot to be able to do you and do the dinner party and everything else, but I kind of found a way to work it all in. So I'm kind of excited about the challenge of making that happen. Okay, so what do we do next?
Okay, so now we can start the dressing. And what we talked about was doing it a little bit different than the way I did it. The original recipe called for just plain olive oil, but since then we discovered Temecula olive oil.
That's right.
So we decided that we were going to try the jalapeno, and we were going to try the blood orange.
And see which one we like better.
See which one we like best, right? This is a little bit of a trial for sure.
Yes, so it's a taste test. So what we're doing is hold on, let me just get one more of these cups because I used it for the parsley. Hold on. Okay, so we have these 2 little ramekins that I'm using, and you've got 2 little bowls. And what we're going to do is we're going to just put like a scoop of the salsa all mixed up here.
I have to get a spoon. Sorry, be right back.
So I'm putting just a little scoop in this ramekin and a little scoop in this ramekin. I've got to be careful not to eat those raw onions till they're marinated a bit. And we've got the lime juice, cumin, and salt. And what we're going to do is we are going to spoon
Oh, I didn't add my cumin to my lime juice. I got behind here. Hold on.
So I'm spooning about a teaspoon of the lime juice right on top of both of these. Okay. Now, the reason that we're doing this is because we couldn't decide. Lynne said she thought that maybe the fresh jalapeno olive oil would be great with the salsa. And I said, you know what? I think the blood orange is going to be better. So we decided that we would give it a try. And so I'm going to put the fresh jalapeno olive oil. Oops, that's a lot. But nonetheless, I can mix it in. Okay.
Did you put your, do we do the honey?
Oh, we did not do the honey.
Okay, I'm doing my honey in the.
Okay, I forgot that piece. So give me a second. Let me get the honey in. Thank you for that. Forgot to do the honey. Ooh, about how much honey, Lynne? How much honey?
Oh, I'm sorry. It is, oh, hold on, half a teaspoon. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon.
All right. So there we go.
And that could be a give or take, I think, depending upon how much sweet or you like.
For sure. But at least it's in there. I think I actually need to add some lime juice, which I'll do once we get off the air to this. And okay, so the fresh
and then a little bit of salt.
Salt and the cumin in.
Yes.
And then in the ramekin, I'm going to add the fresh blood orange.
Okay, so I'm behind. I have to find my whisk here.
All right. And
so you poured a little bit over, and then you put a little bit over each, correct? And then you put each.
I put the lime dressing and
okay,
just a little bit more because the honey is in it now, and I think that helps. Okay. And of course, you know what? This becomes a lot more dressing because we are going to add the olive oil to this dressing once we decide which olive oil we like best, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So I've got it in.
Okay.
On my left is the jalapeno, and on my right is the fresh blood orange. So tell me when you're ready to taste that. So what do you guys think? What would you put with it? Would you put jalapeno or would you put the blood orange? Tell me what you would do. I am missing something here, the top to this, wherever that went. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What do you think you would put? The blood orange or the jalapeno? Inquiring minds want to know. Whoop. All right. Anybody? There's such a delay. It's hard for us to tell who's saying what. Okay, I'm ready to taste test. Are you?
I am. I'm just going to get, do I have a spoon? Let me grab a fork. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, guys, we're waiting for you to say, what would you put in, the jalapeno olive oil or the fresh blood orange? I thought the blood orange would be fabulous with pineapple. So which one do you want to taste first, the jalapeno or the blood orange?
Let's taste the jalapeno.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Ready? Let's go.
I'm ready. Here we go. Mmm. Oh my goodness.
That is really good.
This is like, I feel like I'm one of those people on the Food Network. It's got the savory and the sweet and
it's got the layers of flavor. You know what happens is the pineapple juice cuts the jalapeno. Pineapple juice just really cuts into that jalapeno and really softens it. So it's really
so good.
That was so good. All right, let's see.
Okay, now we're doing the blood orange. I'm so in love with the jalapeno.
Me too. Did you happen to get the hatch chili vinegar?
I did not, no.
Because that really cuts, believe it or not. It cuts. So this is the blood orange. No, Absolutely, hands down the jalapeno, right?
Jalapeno. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I will say,
What?
I think the blood orange is good, just because I love that orange, but it doesn't go well with this. All I'm tasting, and maybe it's the amount, is orange.
And me too. Where the jalapeno just really gave it a kick, and yet the pineapple softened the kick.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. So now we know, into the dressing, we are going to put the jalapeno olive oil, correct?
Correct.
All right, how much?
It calls for 1 tablespoon.
Of olive oil?
That is with the plain olive oil. So would we put the same amount?
Yeah, I think so. But how much, tell me what the recipe called for lime juice. How much lime juice?
Lime juice, it just said 2
tablespoons.
medium, 1 to 2 medium limes.
Oh, okay. All right. I actually would add 2 tablespoons of the olive oil.
Okay, we're gonna do it.
So yeah, this is the fresh jalapeno.
Okay.
So there we go. And I will tell you, if my Hatch chili vinegar gets delivered tomorrow before the party, I'm actually going to put the Hatch chili vinegar into that and toss it along with it, because
that will be great. I know I have so much more I want to order.
Yeah, I know. It's addictive, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Okay. And it's just so fun when it comes, because you experiment. So I'm going to add the rest of this pineapple juice. There we go. And I'm going to add the honey, the jalapeno into the bowl. And then we're going to cover this tightly with saran, and we are going to let it sit in the refrigerator and marinate. I would say to circle back to it a couple times in the next 24 hours and just continue to give it a toss, right? So that the onions on the top get equally marinated. You know, when you have a deep bowl like this, what happens is the stuff that's on the top just doesn't get marinated. So you want to toss that all in.
And it did say, and I do know this to be true, is you have to really cover it tight because of the onions. It definitely marinates the smell in your refrigerator.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you a funny story that happened to me overnight. I am going, let's see. This is the blood orange. I'm going to just put a little extra into the cup that I had the jalapeno in, because I want to taste it now with the tossed lime juice and the pineapple. Yes, this is so good. You cannot stop taking a bite.
It really is.
Well, this was actually the orange. That's so funny. Hey, Lucy, you're here. Nice to see you. Okay, let me try again. This was the jalapeno. Okay, ready? Heart stopping. It's so good. Absolutely delicious. Okay. I can't stop eating it. It's so delicious.
Oh, it's so good, right?
So, Lynne, I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your big win. I hope you're also, posting again this week. I know as soon as your beautiful grandson comes home from the hospital, you're going to be so busy. So we don't want to lose touch with you. We all want to celebrate his homecoming. So make sure that you post pictures of him when he comes home, and he's going to grow up loving his grandmother's cooking for sure. and that's going to be great. And I just want to remind everybody that tomorrow Roseanne is going to be here. She is going to literally teach me how to successfully and quickly make the rosemary skewers of the marinated fontina cheese and the grapes. Excuse me, I have a question for Roseanne right now, which is, do I need to marinate the cheese overnight, or can I just marinate it in the morning when I wake up? I need that answer, Roseanne. Judy Wood says, great job. Love seeing the dual screens with both of us. So that's so sweet, Judy. That's so sweet. So remember, go ahead and post your summer barbecue tournament pictures. Always, if it's just a picture or just a recipe, give us a narrative. Tell us why you love it. Tell us what your experience was with it. Tell us what you did right or what you did wrong. Just tell us something, even if it's just an old recipe card that's faded that you can barely see, which many of us have those, but explain why that's important to you. Explain what experience you had with that recipe, and that will enter you to win. No just posting of a picture or reposting someone else's website. You need to, if you do repost someone else's recipe from another group or another website, explain why you're doing that. Explain the beauty of it. It inspires you. You're going to be making it this weekend. Say something to qualify you to get into the entry. And if you have done that, just go back over the last week and write something so that you can qualify to have the entry entered. And I look forward to making appetizers tomorrow. Join us on Channel 8, and right after Channel 8 is over, drum roll, we'll pick the winner for next week. So Lynne, was this that bad or was it great?
It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you had a change of heart and you decided to do it. And it was very enjoyable. It was absolutely wonderful meeting you in person. I cannot thank you enough for all the encouraging words and all of the times that you've showed up to participate and the loving spirit that you have when you do it. And we're building a beautiful community here, and I cannot thank you enough for being one of the leaders in that community. And I thank you so much. To the rest of you, please take a look at what friends you have that might really enjoy being a part of our gathered group, and also invite your friends to the Nanny Bubby page. Invite your friends to visit at the Nanny Bubby page. We're just about to cross 2,000 followers of the Nanny Bubby page, where we go live every day. And I am told that once I pass 2,000, which I only have 67 to go.
Oh, yay.
Or 77 to go. I don't know. I can't do the math that fast. I think it's actually 73 to go. That be right? I think it is 73 to go. But the algorithms will start notifying faster and start giving you more information about the page and everything else. And you know, we've had our issues with notifications and stuff like that. So Facebook looks at this Nanny Bubby page as not an important page. So the algorithms don't work to process us in front of as many people as we should be in front of, including yourselves, because you have many days where you don't get notifications. So go into community and just, you can click all of your friends and ask them to like the Nanny Bubby page. Get us over 2,000, and then invite some really special friends to join you and gather, and that will make the summer barbecue tournament that much more fun. So that's all the announcements for today. Love you all so much. You ready to say this together, Lynne? I bet you've been dying to say this with me. Okay. Yeah. All right, 3 more comments. Judy Wood said, great job. We've already read that one. Roseanne said, you can do it in the morning. Overnight is okay too. I'll do it in the morning because my legs are killing me already. And Roseanne said, great job, Lynne. And Lucy said, she loves the salsa ladies. I'll be traveling tomorrow, but we'll catch you in the evening. Okay, Lucy, safe travels. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go out and
spread love like butter.
Bye, everybody. Now I've got to jump over the counter and end this call, so you'll forgive me. But here I come. Goodbye, Lynne. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay, ending the call.